My name is Mika. I am 25 years old. I am an English teacher. I love my job, I really do. I love words, and I love seeing my students learn and grow. I always try to be a good teacher. I plan my lessons carefully. I want my students to understand grammar, to read well, and to speak English with confidence. I believe rules and hard work are very important for success. Maybe sometimes I focus too much on the rules. Maybe sometimes I forget that learning can be messy and that every student is different. This school year, a new student joined my afternoon class. His name was Ethan. He was 17 years old, a little older than some of the others. Ethan was very, very quiet. He always sat at the back of the classroom, near the window. He rarely asked questions. When I asked him something, he would answer softly, "Yes, Miss Mika," or "No, Miss Mika." He often looked down at his notebook, and I noticed he liked to draw small pictures in the corners of his pages. At first, I worried about Ethan. I thought, is he listening? Is he learning anything? Maybe he doesn't like my class. I tried to encourage him to speak more, but he always seemed shy. Lately, I had been feeling very tired and stressed. I wanted my students to do well in their exams. I wanted my classroom to be perfect. I pushed myself hard, and I think I pushed my students hard too. Sometimes, when I felt stressed, my voice was not as kind as it should be. The classroom felt a little tense, not as happy as I wanted it to be. One Tuesday, I was having a particularly bad day. I received some news that morning that made me feel sad and a little lost. I tried to hide it, but I think my students could feel my unhappiness. During the lesson, I became frustrated because some students were not understanding a difficult grammar point. My voice became a little sharp. I said, "You need to focus more. You are not trying hard enough." I saw some students look down, their faces sad. Instantly, I felt bad. That was not the teacher I wanted to be. After the class ended, the students left quietly. The room felt empty and cold. I sat at my big wooden desk, my head in my hands. I felt like a failure. I felt like the light inside me was very small. Maybe I am not a good teacher after all, I thought. Just as I was about to pack my bag and go home, I saw a small piece of folded paper on the edge of my desk. I didn't see who left it. I picked it up slowly. My name, Miss Mika, was written on the outside in neat, careful handwriting. I opened it. Inside, there was no letter, no words of apology or explanation. Instead, there was a simple drawing. It was a picture of a very small plant, a tiny green shoot, pushing its way out of dark, cracked earth. Above the little plant, there was a bright, warm sun shining down. It was a simple drawing, but it was drawn with so much care. The little plant looked so brave, so hopeful. There were no other words, just the picture. I stared at the drawing for a long, long time. My heart felt a little warmer. Who drew this? Then I remembered the small pictures Ethan often drew in his notebook. Could it be from him? Quiet Ethan. Tears came into my eyes. I suddenly understood. Ethan, the boy who rarely spoke, had seen me. He had seen my sadness, my struggle. He didn't use words to comfort me. He used his art. He showed me that even when things are dark and hard, there is always hope. There is always a chance for new growth, like that little plant reaching for the sun. That simple drawing taught me more than any book could. It taught me that strength isn't always loud. It taught me that understanding and kindness can be shown in many ways, not just with words. Ethan, my quiet student, had reached out to me in his own special way. He was telling me, "It's okay, Miss Mika. Don't give up." The next day, I went to class with a lighter heart. I looked at Ethan, sitting at the back. He quickly looked down, a little shy. I smiled a real, warm smile. I didn't say anything about the drawing in front of the class, but later, when I walked past his desk, I whispered, "Thank you, Ethan. It was a beautiful picture." He looked up, and for the first time, I saw a small, bright smile on his face. My teaching started to change after that day. I still believed in hard work, but I also learned to be more patient, more understanding. I tried to see the unique spark in every student. I realized that being a good teacher wasn't just about rules and grades. It was about connection, about seeing the person, about encouraging that little plant in each of them to grow towards the sun. I was the teacher. I was supposed to teach my students. But that day, my quiet student, Ethan, became my teacher. He taught me about hope, about kindness, and about the quiet ways we can touch each other's hearts. It was a lesson I will never, ever forget. And that's my story about Ethan, the student who taught me. Sometimes, the most important lessons come from And that's my story about Ethan, the student who taught me. Sometimes, the most important lessons come from the most unexpected people. Thank you so much for listening to my story today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did like this story, please take a moment to give this video a big thumbs up, a like. It really helps other people find these stories too. I have a question for you. How is the speed of my speaking? Is this pace good for you? Or would you like me to speak a little slower? Or maybe this is a normal speed for you, or you'd even prefer it a little faster. Please let me know in the comments below. Your feedback helps me make better videos for you. And if you don't want to miss out on new stories, please click the subscribe button and the little bell icon. That way, you'll know every time I share something new. And one last thing. What kind of stories do you enjoy the most? Are you interested in stories about love, work situations, friendship, history, biography, or something completely different? Please tell me what type of stories you want to hear next in the comments. I read all your suggestions,